Warning: this video contains real conversations with real people who may use explicit language. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Yeah, you don't think of a saint being unholy.
I don't know.
I need it in front of me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right, we got my homie Nick here. He's the director of Venice Beach Ball. Man, tell us a little bit why you started it. What was the inspiration?
The inspiration is the love of the game, man. The love of the game, just following where your heart is, you know? So we started a league on the beach in 2006. Nice. Most recently, a year and a half ago, we launched the Hoop Bus in the efforts to connecting communities to this hoop game and bringing the game where it's never been before. And just that form of outreach and spread the love of God at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you had mentioned love of God, man. Are you a man of faith? Talk a little about that.
I mean, you know, it's the inspiration behind the work, because it is a labor of love. At the end of the day, when you start the work that you're doing, it comes from passion, and then you bring the spirit into the game, and then the game elevates, and then you can share that love of the game with the community that you bring together on a weekly basis. So you know, we call it the Church of Hoops. It is a Sunday tradition that we gather this basketball fellowship, and like I said, we've been bringing this energy all over the world, in the four corners of the world. We've renovated courts in 18 different countries and spread basketball everywhere. And it's
sign me up.
It's a blessing to see, like, you know, how this love of the game grows, and then the love of the game evolves, and then the hoop dreams get achieved, and then you live in that space where it's beyond the dream, right? And that's when you know, like, your faith and the work that you put into the tribulations, to the hard work. You know, it's certainly not easy. It's been many situations. The devil's gonna throw different little curveball and in and outs and sham gods at you, and you gotta know how to adjust. So it's
adjust the defense.
I mean, it's like right now we're in that space where, like, we're already beyond. So you know, I just feel so blessed and fortunate to be in that position to be able to share and give back. Right now we have this foundation. You know, the NBA invited us here. Let's go. And now, you know, we're talking about bringing this bus back to All-Star Weekend, and it's and it just keeps working and sharing and growing. So
That's great. That's great. What's the most fulfilling part of what you do? What's your favorite thing that you get to see, man?
Man, it's so many things, but at the end of the day, it's just planting seeds of hope and inspiring, and as simple as like a smile, and then just the gratitude that the players give to have a stage to showcase their talent, right, and their abilities. You know, it's a hard reality when you go from high school to college. If you play college ball, you're a pro. Like you put your 10,000 hours, you mastered your craft, and then you have to go get a job. And there's not many stages where people can be recognized for their talent. So to be able to unlock other people's hoop dream is what I live for.
Empowering
is what I live for. Exactly.
Who's God's calling.
Right. Yeah. That is the most fulfilling, right? When you're unlocking, because I unlocked my hoop dream, and now I like to be able to see other people come to the stage and build their brand, and then be their own vessel of hope. And then so it's just amazing, man.
That's cool, man. Hey, I have a question too, just a more personal level. We're all men that go to church. We value church as well too, and the reason why we're here is we want to learn. We want to learn about culture, learn about what you guys do. What do you think is like one thing that the church can take away from culture, from ComplexCon? What do you think what can we learn?
Man, what can you learn from this madness going on here, and this cultural and this
he harassing you.
I mean, it's just that it's to embrace everyone's like differences and beliefs and style, and you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you don't know what someone's going through. Like, why somebody's so passionate to spend $1,000 on these sneakers and saving. You know, like, you gotta respect that. Personally, it's like that's not my calling. That's not what I would do with the hard work and money that we make. But it's interesting to learn, and just like, I don't know, growing in empathy, and it's like I love to see everybody just being such like individuals through through fashion. You know, I mean, I think that's the main thing you take away, right? People come and buy goods here and trade goods, and just they want to look good.
Yeah.
You know, I personally like just to let the game do the talking, and you know, whatever people give me, everything that I'm wearing has been gifted to me. So I'm like, I'll take the gift, I'll rock it. I don't care if it's a $5 or 99-cent T-shirt. Like, I'll be your billboard. I mean, depends what we're promoting, but right here we're talking about 75 years at the NBA, and this is the vehicle that's driving the story, right? It's like you're talking about a kid with a hoop dream of going to the NBA, and now like getting an NBA contract with our baby, and this baby is sharing other.
That was the bus that was in.
That's in the commercial.
That's in the. I knew I recognized it because it was at Venice, and I was like, that's crazy. That's awesome, man. Well, appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Where can people find you?
VeniceBall.com. Our nonprofit is called the Hoop Bus. We're gonna go through this whole month of giving all through December. Awesome. The Hoop Bus is gonna be pulling up like a giant Santa sleigh.
Let's go.
And every hood near you. So yeah, if people want to join and donate, we try to keep all proceeds going directly back to the streets, to the game, to the community. So
that's great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah,
well, appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
thank you
guys
so much, man.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks so much. So what inspired the brand? Why did you create it? What was the inspiration?
This is a great question.
Yeah.
So fried rice, as we will know, the chao fan, right?
Sure,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So fried rice actually is a metaphor for the diversity of cultural and creative perspective of our neighborhood. You know, that's where we're from. We're from Lower East Side, New York. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
So growing up in China, I know for me, I was born in Hong Kong.
Cool.
And I came to the States. So my culture really influenced how I was raised. How has that affected the way you kind of branded this as well with your culture?
I mean, you know, it's just like, I would say where everyone's coming from originally, it's just like, I don't know, it's the effect of who you are. At the same time, I think every single person is individual, you know? So I think from that perspective, fried rice is all about diversity. We celebrate diversity, and then that's the most important thing, you know, for us. So we want to celebrate diversity, you know, of the creative like community around the world. And of course, we welcome to, you know, we welcome you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. What does being here at ComplexCon mean to you?
We've been doing ComplexCon for a while. Yeah, I mean, we love it. We just like, we couldn't do it for 2020 just because, you know, it's because of COVID. So we're happy to be back. And then I have to give a big shout out to ComplexCon. We love ComplexCon. We're happy to be back. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What would you say, you talked about being an individual and expression, what would you say to somebody who's scared to create, or maybe they don't know how to take that first step?
If you don't know how to take the first step, I would say take a deep breath and then sit down and drink a cup of tea. I mean, that's my favorite, drink a cup of tea. And then you face two choices. Either you're gonna do it, shine for it, or you're not gonna do it, which you feel regret for the rest of your life. It's your decision. No one's gonna push you. You know what I'm talking about? And you have to make that decision for yourself. So, yeah.
That's great. That's really good. Yeah, you talked a lot about diversity. So, for me,
I mean, it's a diversity of a cultural and like a creative, different kind of background.
Sure,
yeah.
When I as men, men of the church, we love the idea of like we want to treat people equally, right? How have you seen that play out in your brand or your business? Like treating people equally with diversity, culture, meeting people with different ethnic backgrounds.
I mean, for me, this is not about business. It's about the community. You know, everyone's equal. I mean, we're human, basically. I mean, ultimately, aren't we all human? You know, aren't we all just speaking like a human language? And then we should treat each other equally, regardless your gender, your race, your color, your background, your sexuality. I think it's just like this is what, I don't think it's about fried rice. I think it's about humanity.
What's your favorite thing about humanity?
Kindness, and be respectful, and to be curious. If you lose your curiosity, you might as well just like, you know,
yeah. I'm just curious, are you a woman of faith? Do you believe in a God? Do you have a faith as well too? No wrong answer.
I believe hope.
Sure.
You know, I believe positive energy.
Sure.
I believe great positive energy will influence each other and then go back and around, and the positive energy will come back to you if you gave positive and then kindness.
Where do you think that energy comes from? Where do you think it comes from?
I don't know, the love of fried rice.
A lot of fried rice. You definitely get a lot of energy from fried rice. Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Cool.
Yeah,
well,
you
we
know-
appreciate your time. Thank you so much for
You're so
answering your
welcome.
question.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You're so
Yes,
welcome.
thank
That's
you.
that's
Thank you.
great.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who are you? What do you do? How can people find you?
My name is Jeff Hamilton. You can find me on Instagram at the Jeff Hamilton.
Nice. Plain and simple. Cool.
Very simple. And my story is about 40 years ago, I founded Guess Jeans. That was my first company, the men's company of Guess Jeans.
Nice.
And I've been designing jackets since then. And I started designing jackets for Madonna and Michael Jackson and George Michael and
Wow, let's go.
and Nelson Mandela and Martin, and then I started making all the jackets for Michael Jordan
Yeah.
and Kobe Bryant, and fast forward, I've designed for every single.
Yeah.
I mean, not to sound like I'm pretentious.
Sure.
I'm not, but I designed for pretty much every
Yeah.
big celebrity you can
You
name.
got to celebrate. We get that's
so,
a big accomplishment.
and we do all the current ones right
Yeah.
now, like Drake and Travis Scott
Wow.
and A$AP Rocky and
That's awesome.
J Balvin. So a lot
Do
of.
you have a favorite jacket that you've made?
I think probably the Kobe jacket
Yeah.
and the Michael
Classic.
Jordan jacket. This jacket here
Yeah.
and the Kobe Bryant jacket. That
Kobe
one.
Bryant one.
Those are the most. This might be one of the most iconic jackets
Yeah, it's
in
awesome.
the NBA history. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud to be part of it.
What did you want the jacket to accomplish? Like, what was the purpose of creating the jacket? It's a very symbolic thing.
It's basically capturing a moment in time.
Wow.
And having something that has my DNA
Sure.
and my passion for the way I envision that moment in time.
Sure, that's
and I'm glad that all those icons have been able to capture that, and
That's awesome.
good for my legacy and
Yeah.
my self happiness.
That's great.
What does legacy mean to you?
Very much so. As I'm getting older, not all is money. For me, it's all about my mark in time. I've been doing it for 40 years, and I'm still doing it today.
Yeah.
I was relevant 35 years ago, 40 years ago, and I'm blessed by God to be relevant today, and being passionate about doing things that I love, and being passionate and being creative, and being able to make people smile and happy.
That's great. That's
You
awesome.
mentioned God. How does God play into your creative process?
Wow.
Everything. I mean, listen, I do things that I feel. I design. When I design, I create something that I love to do, and I always do my best effort. I do my best, put always my best foot forward, and then let God take care of the rest. That's what it is. I don't panic anymore. As I told you, as I'm getting older, I let things go, and hoping, and I have to say that I'm blessed, and I'm very happy to be doing the things that I love to do, and being creative, and then being able to make people smile and people
awesome.
feel good about my products.
Yeah, as a young buck like myself and all these creative people around, you're almost empowering the next generation. What would you hope to leave with the next generation of creatives almost?
Basically, like my commitment to my craft, and knowing that don't take nothing for granted. Don't procrastinate. And try to be the best you can be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I can say I speak for both of us when I say that we're thankful that you're letting God's creativity flow through you.
Absolutely,
We appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry to give you my left hand.
It's okay. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So, my name's Nico. I'm 30 years old. I started a skate company called For All Mission Skateboards, FAM Skateboards for short. It's all about inspiring the youth, getting their missions out, getting their dreams out.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Dang. What was when you first started it? Were you a youth that wanted to get your dreams out and start that as well too? Well, how did it start for you with the brand?
Since I started skating since I was 5,
Okay.
I didn't come up with the idea until later in life. I was skating. I ended up finding a pamphlet. it was in Spanish, so it's para todos misiones.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
And I like converted it to English, and I was like, I want to stick with that. And then FAM fits for all missions. So I like that a lot, and I stuck with that, and that's what it's been about. So skateboarding teaches that from a youth.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I know I want to like start my own company eventually. So that's to answer your question. I would say around like 16, 17, I was still youth. Yeah.
you started it,
Yeah.
sure,
When
yeah.
I had the idea for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can you
Yep.
talk more about what it means, what missions means to you, like how it means, what it means to support people's missions?
Yeah.
So in general, I believe everybody has an idea of something they want to do in life. We all drift, you know, we're all drift, and we get caught up in life, and you may work a job that you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You may be an artist that it may not seem to be working, but you don't know when your time is coming, you know, and I feel like that's a mission in life. Whatever you're doing is a mission in life, no matter if you're going to school to be a doctor or you're a Lego artist or anything, you don't know. It's
You
a
have a goal
mission.
in mind, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the next person behind you may look up to you and be like, yo, that's what I want to do, you know? And that's creating another mission for somebody else too to follow. So a mission in general is like kind of broad. It's like, yo, I'm on a mission to get a burrito today, but I'm on a mission to finish college. I'm on a mission to start this brand, you know?
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to help people,
Right.
you know?
And you're encouraging people to finish that mission or go on that mission as well too.
Exactly,
That's tight.
exactly.
That's awesome. How does like being here at ComplexCon, like the culture of this environment, how does that affect who you are and how you impact those that come to your brand?
So it's kind of funny because I've been following Complex since I was like 13.
Nice.
Like I would read the magazines and everything. It's where I kind of got my style from.
Yeah.
So to see it in like a capsule in a bubble and seeing all the people that kind of know what it is and the new people that are following Complex as it is today, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Do you practice any kind of faith, any faith tradition?
So considering that I grew up in a Christian household,
Yep.
I would say Christianity is my religion.
Yep.
I am faithful. I am a man of God. I was baptized. I was reborn and everything. So yes, I do follow a religion. It's Christianity.
Do you think that plays into your creative process or how you run your brand?
I do actually. So my brother would always tell me like, God gives you these ideas for a reason and you have to take it and run with it. So for me to follow my life, I'm doing what God built for me. You know, He laid this out for me. He gave me the idea for everything I'm doing. And that's how I go about it.
That's awesome.
What did it mean to have your abuelo encourage you and say, hey, this is what God has given you?
It's kind of through his point of view in life. The guy's like really sturdy and strict. But like he's been through a lot in his life, but he always stood by God. And where he is today is in a better place. So with that being said, I just took that as an example. And then from my grandmother as well, she would always say like cleanliness is next to godliness. Like you can do all things through possible. All things are possible through Jesus Christ. Like that's literally in one of my bios. Just like being in a household like that in general, it was just being brought up, it's all been a big influence on my life. So yeah, like to answer your question, just from my grandfather to my mother to my aunts and uncles, everybody, it's been a big influence on me as a person.
Yeah. As all guys here trying to learn from culture, from ComplexCon, even from you, what do you think is like the biggest thing like that the church could learn from something like this, or like something like that's like ComplexCon culture? What do you think that we could learn from it?
I mean,
What would you love to see change even?
to reach out to youth, more or less, to get more youth involved in the church, but still be more open to the idea of what the youth are going through. You know, we all have our trials and tribulations.
Stepping into their word, they're going through. Yeah.
And all sins are forgiven. So like if you look at a church, we all have to go, like from a kid, your parents like, oh, dress up in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
We can't show up in church like this or we get frowned upon, you know?
Right.
I would say be more open to that. And a lot of times, like it kind of sucks to say, but also churches are very judgmental.
Sure.
You know, it's a very, very sketchy topic to say, but like they are, you know, you have your like the front ladies whispering like why is this person here? Why is this person here? But in the religion, to be honest, like all are welcome, you know. So like I feel like a lot of people step away from going to church or practicing faith because they don't feel like that they're welcomed or they'll be judged. So I feel like if churches just let people be who they are and accept what is what, as God's word said, then
That's spot on. And I think that's exactly how Jesus feels too, man. Yeah. I think that's the people who we hung out with, right? Yeah. All were welcome. Right.
Yeah, look, we're all different right now. We're all different shades of color, you know, and we're all on one topic. Yeah. That's kind of what the brand is about too. Skateboarding teaches you that, you know, inclusivity, you know, and I don't think the world would even work if we don't work with each other. So yeah.
And you can't do that if you can't be open-handed, like you said. So that's awesome, man. Well, appreciate you being here, bro.
No worries.
Best of luck to For All Missions, dude.
Thank you. Likewise to you guys as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, man.
Thanks so much, bro.
That was perfect, man.
That was awesome.